UNP parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake, touring the Oyamaduwa area in Anuradhapura, recently stated that there were several shortcomings in the development projects that were carried out in view of the Daitikill exhibition.
Parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake, who toured several locations in Oyamaduwa, visited the Oyamaduwa Viharya as well. The chief incumbent, explaining the needs of the temple to MP Ravi Karunanayake, pointed out its shortcomings, while also showing a foundation stone laid for the construction of a rest house several months back.
Even
the donors had huge expectations that the temple and the village will witness rapid development. But they are now of the view that this area, nor the village, nor the temple experienced any development. Parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake later inspected a paddy storage facility in Oyamaduwa. When I came here and made a challenge on the 4th of March, I was asked to come on the 20th. I came. What is the difference that we can witness between then and now? Can you store paddy at this storage facility? Don't I know about storage facilities? It was said that there were 500 cows, but is there at least one now? Where have they gone? Were they set free? Or this is tax money paid by the people?
Well, views were expressed at separate media briefings today on the statement made by Minister Bandula Gunawardena, claiming that a family of 3 could live comfortably with 7,500 rupees a month.
Bandula Gunawardena monowa kiwwa
The people do not take any note of the statements Bandula Gunawardena makes. Everyone knows that he has now become a court jester like the famous Andere. I have no need to go for unnecessary debates and become another Andere. The public has already responded, so we will not take any notice of this debate. The people know that they cannot live off 83 rupees and 33 cents a day. If we think along the lines we suggested, he would have to be receiving his vegetables free of charge when he goes to the economic centre. He gets his fish for free, the hotels he stays in are free, his electricity bill and telephone bill are paid by the government, he receives a fuel allowance. In this case, 83 rupees and 33 cents may be enough for the minister. But if we take the poorest man in the country, the poorest beggar, he cannot live off 83 rupees and 33 cents.
The Biodiversity Secretariat of the Ministry of Environment says that the blue water lily, known as the Nilmana flower, which was considered to be the national flower, is not the correct national flower. Director of the Secretariat, Ajit Silva, points out that the blue water lily matching the botanical name of the correct national flower has now been identified.
Today, the blue water lily with the botanical name Nymphia stellata was considered as the national flower of Sri Lanka. However, with various views being expressed stating that this was not the correct national flower, an interministerial committee headed by the Secretary to the Ministry of Environment was appointed to look into the matter. The committee appointed another subcommittee with the support of experts. Through studies carried out by the subcommittee, it was found that the blue water lily bearing the botanical name of Nymphia naucheli should be the national flower of Sri Lanka.
මේ කියන්නා වූ මලේ විද්‍යාත්මක නම නිම්ෆියා නෞචලි නම් ඇත්තටම අපි පෙන්වන මල නෙමෙයි.
If the botanical name of the flower is Nymphia naucheli, there is a mismatch with the flower that we considered to be the national flower. We have to recommend this flower, which has been identified as Nymphia naucheli, to the higher authorities. Then they will decide upon it and will make necessary changes or change the botanical name of the national flower. Our conclusion was to inform the necessary authorities of the flower bearing the botanical name Nymphia naucheli.
භාවිතා කරන්න. ඉතින් මේකදී මූලිකම නිගමනය වුණේ නිම්ෆියා නෞචලි නම් මේ හරි මල අපි අදාළ ස්ථානවලට දැනුම් දීම තමයි.
Good evening and welcome to Sports First with me, Suwan Fernando. Starting off with cricket, Sri Lankan skipper Mahela Jayawardene scored a second consecutive century against England to help the hosts post 238 runs for 6 wickets on day 1 of the first test at the P. Sara Oval in Colombo. Sri Lanka currently leads the 2-match series 1-0.
Sri Lankan skipper Mahela Jayawardene won the toss and elected to bat first.
England fast bowler James Anderson gave the visitors a strong start by dismissing the top 3 Sri Lankan batsmen under 30 runs. Sri Lankan skipper Mahela Jayawardena and Thilan Samaraweera resurrected the Sri Lankan innings with a 124-run fourth wicket stand. After Samaraweera's dismissal for 54 runs, Angelo Matthews joined the Sri Lankan skipper at the crease and guided Sri Lanka past the 200-run mark. Mahela Jayawardena, who hammered 11 boundaries and a 6, reached his 31st Test century to become the 7th highest century scorer in Test cricket. Graham Swan made the much-needed breakthrough for the visitors when he dismissed Jayawardena for 105 runs. At close of play on day 1, Sri Lanka were 238 runs for 6 wickets with Angelo Matthews unbeaten on 41 and Suraj Randev not out on 6.
At the media briefing held following the conclusion of the first day's play, Sri Lankan batsman Thilan Samaraweera spoke of his partnership with skipper Mahela Jayawardena.
Myself and Mahela batted. We played a lot of cricket together, especially in first-class cricket. And first test also same scenario, and we bat through that first session because he's in tremendous form at the moment. He's a great player and he gave good advice to me.
You know, I thought that we played some good attritional cricket today. I thought that we were very patient. And we got our rewards towards the back end of the day. Jayawardena obviously played very, very well and assessed the conditions excellently. But I thought that we as a bowling unit bowled good all day. I thought that we were patient, and I think that tomorrow morning, the first session is going to be a very important session for the rest of the game.
Moving on, the Director General of Sports, Ranjini Jakodi, stated that elections for the Sri Lanka Athletic Association will be held on the 3rd of next month. She added that elections to 45 of 52 sports bodies have already been conducted.
According to the Sports Act, elections and the appointing of office bearers for sports bodies registered with the Minister of Sports should be held before the 31st of March each year. Sports first made inquiries from the Director General of Sports, Ranjini Jakodi, regarding this year's elections for sports bodies.
The deadline imposed to elect office bearers for sports bodies ended on the 31st of March in 2011. We believe that elections for 45 sports bodies have been conducted by now. There are 52 bodies and there are no reports about the functioning of 5 bodies as they are inactive, and there are interim committees for 5 different sports. We have called for nominations for the elections of the Athletic Association, and the closing date for nominations is set for the 19th of April. And we have taken measures to conduct the election on the 3rd of next month.
Thank you, Swan, for that sports update. Before we go, there is just 4 days more for the grand finals of Yes Superstar Season 2, which would see Jude Pereira and Dulani Ramanathan singing their hearts out to win the coveted Yes Superstar title.
Now, yesterday on Entertainment First, we took a brief look at the profile of Jude, and tonight we feature Dulani.
28-year-old Dulani Ramanathan is a past pupil of Dimazenad College, Khandana, and is a talented vocalist with a unique voice. After leaving school, Dulani worked for a couple of years in the airline trade, but her desire to make it big with her singing had always been an inherent passion. Dulani took every opportunity to sing, and she even went on to win a karaoke contest, which eventually won her a singing contract in the Maldives for a year. This aspiring singer also hopes to set her mark in the fashion industry by becoming a fashion designer. Dulani is currently working as a data entry operator at a private BPO while designing outfits on a small scale for friends and family.
Listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. And there are voices that want to be heard, so much to mention, but you can't find the words, the sense and magic and the beauty that's been.
And on that note, we wrap up this edition of Primetime News. Remember, if you want to read up on any of the stories that we aired tonight, simply log on to www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Ramesh Urugal Bandara.
And I'm Mahina Bong. So it was a pleasure having you with us here as always. Take care and good night.